Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally, you can relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to clarify ourselves how these meditation techniques will help for us to develop our inner awareness. So when it comes to spiritual practice, it is very important before you go into practice, you should know what it is and you should know how the transformation can happen. So it's mainly, we have to understand intellectually. So as human beings, our all the physical, mental activity depend on the knowledge. It is very necessary for this conventional life. And when it comes to knowledge, that all the things you acquired, accumulated through the culture, tradition, schooling, and listening, seeing things through the environment. So this everything is your knowledge. You can't deny it. So it is very, so in the beginning, basically, you have to see the whatever that your spiritual practice, how can apply, and at the same time, how your spiritual development interrelated with the knowledge or the very conventional life. Because otherwise there is no way suddenly rejecting this everything that you can transform to liberation. There is no way. It is a gradual level of process. So that's why Buddha mentioned idhanandati pechanandati. From this point to that point, it's kind of like you're climbing a ladder step by step. So, and we have our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. And at the same time, we depend on the perception. So this anything we can't reject. So the liberation, then we have to see using this all the material rather than go with it, how we can transform it to something else. That is the wisdom. So if you maintain this all the perception itself, then what will happen? You go with the very conventional life. So if you look for very eternal life, there is a method that you have to transform this everything to something. So how you can do that? Rejecting it and without accepting it as it is, you can't do. So then you have to be humble in the beginning to accept things as it is, rather than, and at the same time, accepting, but not to hold. So there is a very behavior in us that we have collective nature, always grasping, clinging, holding to things. Why you have this holding nature? Why you go into this holding? Because when you depend on something, you always going to hold something. So then why we depend on something? Because we don't see things as it is. We have our imagination. So once we depend on our imagination, what is the imagination mean? You are creating image regarding something. So animate that the mind depend on the name and the forms. You creating certain kind of names and forms rather than accepting the reality as it is. So why we going to create things inside us? Because we are not satisfied. So that unsatisfactory nature push you to create things. And out of that, your imagination arises. And once the imagination is there, what will happen? With that, there is an emotion arise. So why the emotions arise? Once that you have the imagination, that current start to take you towards something. And as a result of that, you create a motion inside your mind, and then the emotions arise. So then what the emotions does? This is what happened. When you with the emotions try to experience something, with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, all the perception, the emotions has the power to color it, put certain kind of opinion on it. And then you go into more deeper with that, and you lose the reality. And you create your own image, and the emotions bring the coloring to it. And then now you go into different world. So once you take that, the mental created, that image, that imagination created and emotion colored your own visual, that the mind as the world, you miss this world that you experience around you. So breaking this will bring the ability for you to, in the very first level, to be with the environment and accept things as it is. So the meditation will help you to work inside you. It has a different stages. So one is, in the very first level, it allows you to just settle down. Rather than when you not settle down, what happens? You always look for something, and that will take you to depend on something. So now you come to the point to settle down, and that depending behavior going to disappear. So that is the key point. That's why it is important, even in the very conventional life, the contentment. So then when you come to the meditation, before even we go to the techniques, so whatever the techniques that you use, remember, It doesn't matter you practice tranquility meditation or vipassana meditation or any other meditation. But in here, your posture, the sitting, you have to be completely satisfied with it. That satisfaction itself will help you to have the contentment. So without that, if you look for something else, what will happen? These mental creations, imaginations, and the coloring emotions start to bring certain things. It can happen even regarding the tranquility state. It can happen regarding the nibbana or the liberation or that kind of things. Your mind can image the heaven. Your mind can image the hell. And then before you even reach to the hell or the heaven, you experience it in you. Why you should have that? It's unnecessary. So then there is an ability in our mind to go into past and the future, but it is not imagination. That is what we have to be very clear here. Imagination comes out of the unsatisfaction. That's where the unsatisfaction trigger the desire. So the desire has a deeper connection, relationship with the lust, and it has a deeper relationship with the self-centered mind or the ignorance. So it has a deeper roots. But if we just only practice point of view, try to understand regarding the meditation, your posture is important. And at the same time, remember, just sitting is not enough. You have to be satisfied with your sitting. Don't look for something. And don't try to, to kind of like to be more better. No, do you accept me? You accept it. That's it. There's nothing to be better. This is the best. So once you have it, that settle down, bring some kind of wisdom to be in the moment. So that is the first thing. And then the second thing, once you have it, so then we go to the primary mental object to see our own inhalation, exhalation as it is. Now you are physically understand, allow things to settle down. Now you bring it as a mental quality. So you are not interfering with the inhalation, exhalation. You just allow it to happen itself. So when the inhalation happens, you recognize it as inhalation. You recognize it as exhalation. That recognition, this is very important. That recognition should come out of the recognition of the sensation, not by visualizing, imagination, thinking about it or making it happen. No, because the reason is this. If you imagine your inhalation, exhalation, again, where you go? Again, you go to create the imagination and it will trigger the emotions. So then allow it to happen, and when it happens, just see it. So once you settle down with that, from that point, so this everything need to happen, that we need the very conventional knowledge. So once you enter into the tranquility state, your body, mind, and the breathing will settle down. And from that point anymore, you don't need this thinking mind like that way, but still the mind going to be there. Mind is like the internet, it's 24/7, it is there. When you connect, it start to work, but it's still there. It is there. Internet, Wi-Fi, it is everywhere. So your mind also, it's always active mood. So, but when the thoughts come and our awareness with the thoughts and the thinking pattern, it is different. But the mind, you can't, completely blank your mind. It's then you have to die. Your tranquility state not like that. It bring complete that thoughts to not to disturb you, but still things can happen. So once you come to that level, when you go to the Vipassana level, what happens? So this is the thing. All the thoughts, habits, emotions, this everything in you. And another way we call it experience, history, our past. But once you go into the Vipassana level, you gain ability to go through the experience without holding to that experience. So that is where in a very conventional world, they use this technique for kind of like a creativity. So as example, we'll use a simile, just example to understand this, how this happens mentally. Just imagine you go to school, you learn different subjects, and then from there you gain certain experience, knowledge. So now that you have certain knowledge you acquired in you, and then when you're going to create something, what happens? You use that all the things you studied, but rather than hold it to that all the theories, the methods, the numbers you studied, using that all, you create something new. So that is a creativity in the very conventional world. So when it comes to the Vipassana, it is not you going to create something, that you still that you experience the things. When you have ability to go through the experience, use that all the experience, go through it and get into the depth of it. And once you reach to the depth of it, and you recognize only one thing, that is the change. There is nothing else. So within your all the experience, once you tune to the, once you connect it to that fundamental quality, that's mean the change. From that point, your deeper understanding going to shift to different level. So once you have that, the moment by moment, then the mind no need to think about something. It's going to expand the limit. How it expand? This is that you have ability to go deeper into your history, and you have ability to go further towards your future. It's not you doing by thinking and imagination. When you come to the tranquility state, and when you are capable to go through the rather than holding to the experience, when you are capable to go through it, you are capable to go into the depth of the history, and you are capable to go further towards the future. That means you start to see. You start to see it in a larger picture. So it's kind of like this. Rather than interfering to any situation, if you little bit step back, what will happen? You start to see the more bigger picture. Once you see the more bigger picture, you are capable to understand the present moment, the past and the future, that all. So in the Vipassana, this is what happened. And you are not labelized, you are not depend on it, no, you are not personalize it. You don't have any self-opinion regarding that moment of experience, but still you are capable to recognize the soul. So once you have that ability, the moment by moment, the process that this analytical process in you going to become more strong and clear. So this meditation technique, and it's nothing to do with this outside. It is more we practice inside us. Because day by day, when you're capable to do it little by little, you recognize, as I mentioned from the beginning, that whatever you experience, it's mostly depend according to that whatever you learn. That's mean according to your past experience. And so once you depend on that again and again, that is where the habits or the patterns going to be with our life. The most of time we don't experience something new. We always experience we always repeat the history. But the life, the very nature, the reality always happening moment by moment in a different way. But you also can tune to that level deeper in you. The only thing is the mind is creating this world, and we more hold it to that world, this mental world. So, and everything, once you recognize this behavior in your mind, you not going to that focus to more outside. You recognize finally it is, when it comes to the world, when it comes to the life, it's more kind of like a mental game. The mind is the one who plays this all. So once you recognize that, when thoughts arise in you, when the situations arise in you, rather than go with it, you little bit back up. You take a space in you. That is what you need from the beginning, to see that and take the space within your own thoughts, within your own mind, within your own actions. If you are capable to get that space, remember, you are capable to develop it more and deeper, go into you and shape yourself. So practicing meditation is nothing to do with this outside. So deeper, you shaping your own inner structure. And rather than go with the memory, release from the memory and tuning moment by moment to the present moment. And when it comes to that, you develop the highest level of these human abilities, adaptivity. And not only that, out of that adaptivity, naturally you bring the creativity. So that creativity that comes, it is totally different than imagination and emotions creativity. No, this is very pure level of organic level of sustainable creativity without depending from something. In the very conventional level of creativity, it always you create something to depend on it. But this is not like that. So that it is moment by moment process you develop. And with all the bodily, verbally, mentally actions, you bring the highest, and it always going to become more profitable, because there is no any relationship with the greed, hatred, or the delusion, that it is a pure level of deeper fundamental human quality is going to be there with you, and it applicable for any time, for any place, for any person or any living beings. Just imagine that if you are capable to do an action to be applicable for any time, for any living beings, in any place, just imagine how strong that. So that is what happened in your mind. You are capable to tuning to that level of action, but why you can't do it? Because your creativity, your actions bound by your own history. So why you don't want to go there and clean it? Because you are more comfortable with it. And you maintain it, you hold it into it. So, and you depend on it. That's why you don't touch it. But meditation is a method to go into deeper, that clean it, rescue you from your own history. So now let's get into practice a little bit. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Supatveva. Oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens, just recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Supreme Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of these meritorious activities, may all of you attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chamihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjissami idammi punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bliss.